Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us this afternoon as we talk about what an ATS is, or an applicant tracking system. I'm Alex Hattingh, the head of People and Culture for Employment Hero. And as we all know, things changed overnight in March due to COVID. We found that we had to change our sales pitches, our marketing approach, our product roadmaps, absolutely everything. We even had to switch our minds to think about how are we going to start recruiting people in this new remote world of work. The candidate experience is now more vital than ever as we deal with this changing world. In talking through how management philosophy has changed over the years, it's taken quite a bit of time to go from one model to the next. It took us a decade to go from the industrial corporation, another decade to go to the hierarchical leadership, then another decade to go to collaborative management. And then we moved into a model that was all about a company as a network. Then COVID hit, and from 2019 till this year, we really had a massive shift where there was such a focus on empathy, trust, resilience, and growth. It's all about the individual. And so that makes the candidate experience all the more important. Candidates have choices, and we have to keep that in mind. Let's kick off by talking about what an applicant tracking system is. It's a system or software tool that helps us manage recruiting, candidate, and hiring workflow. What in particular is a cloud-based SaaS ATS? By being in the cloud, it means that it's available across all devices at any time, which is so important these days for candidates, especially to be available on a mobile. SaaS stands for software as a service, and in our SaaS model, we are cloud-based, which means we're available on all devices. It also means that there's no installation required, no software updates, maintenance, enhancements, data storage, and importantly, the security of the data and the backups are all taken care of by the provider, not you. And how does an ATS work? It works as a centralized location where most of your hiring actions happen. So you can post jobs to multiple job boards with one click. You can search for profiles in a talent pool. You can evaluate candidates and schedule interviews. Some systems even help employers make it easier to source more qualified candidates by having various integrations with other systems. A really good example is psychometric testing for candidates. Applicant tracking systems also provide summary reporting so that you can show your leadership team or your hiring managers how your recruitment processes are tracking and where you're at. So in summary, an applicant tracking system facilitates you to easily create jobs and open roles, to post to multiple job boards, and we know there are a lot out there, as well as helping you to manage all of your candidates in one centralized place that you as a recruiter can use, you as an admin can use, and all of your hiring managers who you add to your hiring team can also use. Again, one centralized place where you see all of that workflow occur. I'd love to launch a poll if you wouldn't mind, Jules. I would love to hear from everyone on the call how you rate the overall efficiency of your talent acquisition function. Is it excellent and you couldn't ask for more? You already have an ATS. Good, it could be improved, or terrible. It's manual and spreadsheet based and you'd love to be able to streamline recruitment. So in ending that poll, the majority of people feel that it's good, but it could be improved. However, we do have 25% of you who really want to know how do you improve your recruitment process. And we can show you that today through using an ATS. There has been a surge in job applications due to COVID, and that's been a phenomenon around the world that's been reported on by all recruiters. There's also data from Australia that came out from JobAdder this week that validates this. You'll see on the chart below that there was a significant spike in April, And it's averaging out at the moment to around about 47 applicants per role. Here at Employment Hero, personally, we're seeing a much higher volume of applicants per role. And so to try and be managing those applicants manually or on spreadsheets or through different systems is an absolute nightmare. An ATS is a total game changer for you, your hiring managers, and for your candidate experience. Also, there's a cost to not having an ATS. You're manually processing things, you're manually scheduling interviews, often dealing with multiple calendars. And how long is it taking you to get interview notes back from your hiring managers? Are you spending time jumping in and out of different job boards like LinkedIn, Seek, and Indeed? You're also manually communicating to your candidates, probably one at a time. You don't have any centralized area where you and your hiring managers can go and see all communications with candidates. Your hiring managers don't have visibility into where things are at with your hiring process. And communication between you and your hiring managers is more time consuming, especially in a virtual world. You might be relying on emails back and forwards or shared docs as opposed to a centralized applicant tracking system. According to HRD magazine, the average cost to hire in Australia is over $18,000, with the average days to hire metric at close to 40 days. An ATS helps you lower both of these statistics. So what should an applicant tracking system do? It should be able to post your jobs to multiple job boards and on social media, as well as your own website with one click of a button. It allows your candidates to apply online and, as I said, on any device. An ATS makes it super easy to communicate to candidates. It has things like bulk email templates so that you can respond to every single candidate. It streamlines collaboration, making it really easy for your hiring managers to rate people online, comment on candidates, tag another hiring manager in the hiring team, or tag you. It allows you to have scorecards and interview kits. And as I mentioned, they often integrate with testing providers. It integrates with your calendar and should have the ability to add a video option into the invitation so that you can do your virtual interviewing through video and not phone. It also will allow you to upload passive candidates, employee referrals, or even internal talent. And if you have the time to be proactive, an ATS can allow you to build talent pools for the future. These are the top 3 metrics that an applicant tracking system improves, and that's your time to hire, your cost per hire, and your quality of hire. ATS reporting. A good ATS system will produce reports that give you insight into the areas that you might want to improve on. It also helps your hiring managers gain visibility into where your recruitment process is at for each open role. Reports might include pipeline activity, what candidates are at what stage, metrics like days to hire, sources that the applicants are coming from. It's really helpful to know how many applicants are coming from LinkedIn compared to Seek, compared to Indeed. It might inform the decision of where you're going to post your jobs. And it can also report out on the length of time it takes for a candidate to move from one stage to the next, from a video screen through to an in-person interview, or in this virtual world, an interview with the hiring manager. ATS also automates all the communications that you have with your candidates. One of the best advantages is this automation. It just streamlines everything and allows you to respond to everyone who applies. There's been a recent trend where some organisations have become known for ghosting candidates. This is where an organisation will go silent on a candidate and the candidate never hears from them after, for example, their initial screening video interview. This is not only a terrible experience for the candidate, it leads to brand damage. So an ATS can help you close the loop with any candidates that you're not moving forward. Always remember when communicating with your candidates through an ATS to keep them human and align them with your own culture. An ATS will always provide you with great templates, but feel free to edit them so that they speak in the tone of the voice of your company and your culture. I thought I'd touch on creating the best virtual candidate experience as we've shifted into this new world. Based on Career Builder research, would you believe that 60% of job seekers quit in the middle of filling out online job applications because of the length or complexity of applying for that job? An ATS system makes applying for a job really easy. For example, it can allow you to simply upload your profile from LinkedIn as your application. There's also a cost in giving a candidate a poor experience. You're going to lose top talent. There's going to be poor word of mouth from candidates frustrated with the process. This impacts your employer brand. It also impacts your corporate brand and has the potential for someone leaving a negative Glassdoor review. And a poor candidate experience can also mean that you'll have under-resourced teams because you have a role vacant for a longer period of time. And this will impact revenue, or it could also impact things like customer satisfaction. So how do you create an awesome candidate experience? Now remember that the candidate experience encompasses all of the touch points that you have with a candidate during the hiring process. Candidates now review more than just your website. They'll look at your social media and they'll quite often look at Glassdoor reviews. So align your candidate experience with your values and your cultures. Use your ATS to communicate constantly with your candidate. A really good example might be if there's a hold up in scheduling, you can do a super easy communication and streamline it to, let's say, 5 candidates all at the same time, and it will personalize this communication to let them know that there's a hold up in their next stage of the interview round because the hiring manager or the CEO has a super busy week. So you'll be reaching out to them next week. An update is a much better experience than silence and having the candidate potentially drop out of the process. Now, make sure you do respond to every candidate or you risk brand damage. This is super easy with an ATS because of the templates and being able to bulk email or bulk SMS people. If a candidate is successful, it is great to have an integration so that you can get them a contract and offer of employment within minutes of a verbal acceptance. What a great experience to get a phone call from a hiring manager and then to receive a contract in your inbox within minutes after that verbal offer. It just makes that process so rewarding. An even better experience is when you can make your onboarding paperless. So where your employee has no paper forms to complete, where they can log into a system immediately after accepting a contract and onboard with beautiful, paperless, and a compliant experience. This is an example of a Glassdoor review we recently received from a candidate having a terrific experience. Now, a lot of this goes down to the amazing people that I have on my team who are involved in talent acquisition. However, they never could have done it without us having a great ATS that streamlined communications, that allowed them to be really upfront, clear, and transparent with the candidate about what the process was going to look like, who they were going to interview with, and easily set up those interviews with links to videos so that the entire virtual experience was fantastic. And it's really good for candidates to log on and see reviews like these on Glassdoor. Now, you also need to remember to keep your candidate engaged from the offer stage to their start date because you don't want to lose them. According to the Aberdeen Group and some research they did, would you believe that 86% of people make the decision to stay within a company long term within their first 6 months? So keeping them engaged between making the offer and them starting is vital to make sure that they do start with you, and then vital to make sure that their first 6 months and first 3 months are really impactful with good virtual onboarding. So engage with your new employee between their offer accept stage and their actual start date. Let them know what to expect. What will their first day look like? When will they receive their technology? Make sure you do get them their technology early enough for them to troubleshoot should they have any problems. Also, Have their new manager reach out to them probably 5 days before they start. We've set up a notification within Employment Hero that pings hiring managers so that they do remember to do this and reach out to the team and tell them how excited they are to have them joining. And then go that extra mile and send them a welcome gift or a welcome packet. It doesn't have to have a high cost to it. Here's an example of what we send our new employees, and you'll see there that one of our newest employees actually posted it up to LinkedIn to say how excited she was. In there, we've got a handwritten card from their new manager, a t-shirt, some branded swag, and then some fun things like toilet paper and a bottle of Corona or a drink that they can have with their virtual happy hour, some snacks and hand sanitizer as well. And in there, you'll also see a globe in one of those pictures. And that's because we've recently gone international, making it relevant and fun so that the person actually gets to feel your culture and they're feeling really welcome before they even start with you. So you might be convinced that you need an ATS. It can be a little bit more complex when it comes to convincing your leadership team. So give them an understanding of what an applicant tracking system is and dumb down the language. Try not to use ATS, for example. Talk to them about the benefits and the ROI. Think about the data that will help build your case and influence your leadership team. What are your pain points and what are their pain points? Manual processes, bad candidate experience or feedback, long days to fill metrics, meaning that your roles are vacant for too long. For example, you could tell them that a long vacancy in the customer service team means that they're under-resourced, which leads to a poor customer experience, and it's actually impacting your NPS score. That will influence your leadership team. Also, focus on those 3 metrics that an applicant tracking tool is designed to improve: time to hire, cost per hire, and quality of hire. Also, rely on that research and the statistics. That study by HRD magazine that found that in Australia it does cost over $18,000 to recruit one person and an average of almost 40 days to fill a role. Then, once you've implemented an ATS system, you can go back to your metrics to prove the ROI of that system. I also recommend that you survey your new hires and ask them what their candidate experience was like. Once you have that feedback, you can always improve, and hopefully you'll get some great anecdotal evidence of an incredible experience that you can then feed back to your hiring managers and to your leadership team. And so, introducing Employment Hero's applicant tracking system. So our purpose is to make employment easier and more rewarding for everyone. Part of delivering on our mission is to make Employment Hero a true end-to-end people management platform. So we've added an application tracking system so that you can manage your people in one system before you've even hired them. So you can post a job to a multitude of job boards in one click globally. You can also move a candidate through the process. So here you can upload someone that may have been referred to you, a passive candidate that you've searched and found on LinkedIn, for example, or you might have internal candidates. With a click of a button, you can upload their resume or their profile from LinkedIn. And then it's really easy to move them through to the different stages of the interview process. Here you'll see I've got myself in here as a candidate. I simply click on the Move To box and I move them to the phone screen section. And I can also easily caption notes down here to say, great referral, moving to the video stage, meaning that all people on the hiring team have visibility into all communications, all comments, and all feedback. Another great example is that once I've moved this particular candidate, and here I'm using myself as an example, to the hired section, it's really easy to onboard them and issue them with a contract. By simply clicking this one button, all of the information from the candidate automatically populates into being able to continue here and issue them a contract, meaning it would only take you minutes to be able to get your candidate a contract. Now then, keep in mind that all of the candidates that you have interviewed are in the ATS system. So if you have a role that opens up again and you had a second candidate who you were kind of making a hard decision as to who to hire, you have all of their information in the system to easily go back to them and start re-engaging with them. And you might even want to be engaging with them and saying, you were absolutely our second choice. We will get back to you when another role opens. So takeaways and next steps. And that is, if you're already an Employment Hero customer, train your managers on how to start using the ATS system. Create a workflow of events so that you know how you're moving them through. Pull together some scorecards for your hiring managers to load into the ATS system. Get creative and introduce those welcome packs. They really make such an impact on new hires. And just get started. There's no shame in identifying opportunities for improvement. So after this, our incredible marketing team will send you a copy of this slide deck, also a video that will demonstrate in a little bit more detail how to actually use our applicant tracking system and how easy it is. And we'll also send you a remote onboarding checklist so that you can have that as a resource to be able to use. So I'd love to open it up for questions if anyone has any. No questions as yet. No Q&A, or has anyone entered them into the chat? Okay, we have one. How does it work with cheating the system? I'm not sure what you mean by cheating the system. If that anonymous attendee could maybe type in a little bit more detail about that, that would be wonderful. The video that we'll send out will also take you through a step-by-step guide as to how to use the ATS and move through those different areas of the recruitment lifecycle, and how to leave comments so that other hiring managers have a centralised place to go and actually review any notes on any candidates. Okay, it looks like we don't have any questions. Please do feel free to send any through. How to view the candidate at different stage of selection. Yes, a great question. So that, let me just try sharing the screen again. Okay, hopefully you can see that. So down here on the side, you can see you've got a new candidate, you've got a candidate that's in review, you've got a candidate that might be phone screened, you've got a candidate who's in the assessment stage, the interview stage, then you do the background check, and then you offer, and then once they've accepted it, they've been hired. Then you've also got a disqualified section. So that will be people that you might screen out immediately. And going back to how you move them through is this simple drop down box. And then you just, if I am a hiring manager and I want to go in and see who's been interviewed, I click on the interview section and I see all candidates that are in the interview stage. If I then want to go and check their background checks, I just click on background check and I will see every background check that's been conducted. Same with phone screen. If I want to jump into there, I'd be able to see the notes that someone may have left during the phone screen. I understand the platforms such as Seek don't allow direct uploading from one system to theirs. That's the great thing about an ATS. So by one click of the button, you'll be able to not only advertise your job to multiple job boards. We have over 1,700 options there globally. Whenever someone applies, whether they apply through Seek, through LinkedIn, through Indeed, whatever job board they're applying to, they will come straight through to the ATS so that you're not having to go to Seek.com or the employer end of Seek.com to look at someone's resume or assess them. So whilst we post on LinkedIn and Seek, I never actually go to the back end of LinkedIn or Seek to look at a candidate. Next question, can you filter qualified candidates automatically based on keywords? No, you can't. We are going to be doing a lot of enhancements, which will include AI at some stage. However, there are a lot of clever apps out there that actually help people kind of, I guess, play their resume to game the system so that they get through those AI tools. I also personally am a believer that you can screen a resume pretty quickly to be able to screen people out very quickly and disqualify them, send them a thanks but no thanks email, and making sure you're getting back to them. Through relying on AI, I do believe that you have the potential to miss out on a fantastic candidate who may have done the quick upload of their LinkedIn profile, and they could be the perfect candidate. But if you have an AI bot in there looking at keywords, they might kind of disqualify them automatically, and then you're losing great talent. The next question, what is the price and do you need Employment Hero to get just the ATS? We are with Bamboo looking to change ATS. No, you can't at the moment just get the ATS. It comes just standard. So if you're a current client of Employment Hero, you do get the ATS as part of the system. We are looking though at the potential of breaking out the ATS and offering it as a separate offering. Another question, can people who apply for the job at a specific company create a profile and then get notified of any upcoming roles within the organisation? Not yet. As I said, we're making enhancements, so we will pass that on to the product development team as an enhancement and an idea. I'll copy that now so that I've got a copy of it. Really, really fantastic idea. Well, it looks like that's all the questions for today, a short webinar. However, hopefully you found it really insightful, and I hope any clients that are on the webinar start using our ATS system straight away and get a lot of joy out of how it automates the system and how it makes not your experience better, it makes your hiring manager's experience better, and almost most importantly, it makes the candidate experience better. The next question is, can you use recruitment agencies with it? I will have to find out. I am 99% sure that you are able to enter an external email address as part of the hiring team. I will double check though. So thank you so much for joining, everyone. We've really enjoyed it, and please send any questions through, and we look forward to the next webinar, which I think might be next week. So we hope to see you then. Have a fantastic afternoon.